Hello, my name is Scott Davis. Welcome to New World Birth. This is the care and feeding of a New World Age report for the Gregorian date of October 11th, 2015, and one Con, or seed, or lizard in the Mayan Zolkin calendar, with the Libra New Moon and the Sun entering Scorpio. October 11th is one Con, or seed, or lizard, which has the themes of corn, or the net overflowing after the harvest, planting, ripeness, sexual maturity, abundance, manifestation, connecting with others, the lizard of fertility and growth, germination, children, and family. The seed in the Zolking has two primary representations, a huge net full of corn, and the lizard, and they're both symbols of fertility. This 13-day period is excellent for planting new intention or other seeds. And before I get into the daily energy for one seed or con or lizard, on the 11th, all the planets appear to be moving forward from our perspective here on the Earth, with the exceptions of Chiron, Uranus, and Neptune, which are appearing to move in reverse or retrograde motion. And the themes of the retrograde planets are a review of the past, reevaluate, reminisce, and we can see these themes being played out. Chiron retrograde in Pisces is about releasing stuck emotional energy so that we can return to the natural flow of life. Retrograde Chiron has us reviewing our wounds so that they can be released by having the courage to open our hearts to any fear or pain associated with our past. When Chiron is in Pisces, people are willing to sacrifice their individual pain in hopes of finding bliss in universal consciousness. At worst, this can manifest as folks justifying their victimhood as some form of martyrdom. This should be transcendence and surrender without losing ourselves in the experience. And then Uranus in Aries is retrograde until December 26. Uranus seeks to shake our very foundation through the unexpected rebellion of the individual. Retrograde Uranus in Aries will have people wanting to hurry the process of getting free, to push the river of revolution, whether it be personal or political. And then we've got Neptune retrograde in Pisces. This is seeking transcendence through spiritual experiences. This will be a time to use spiritual practices to keep us grounded as we experience our intuition and consciousness. Both Neptune and Pisces, the sign that rules, tend to be dreamy, imaginative, difficult to nail down due to their qualities of illusion, but also illumination, often without any way of knowing which is which. They represent compassion and codependence, selflessness and loss of self, higher purpose and substance abuse, in their inspiration to transcend the material plane and experience something beyond words and thoughts. So let's look at the daily vibrational energy of this Trisena. October 11th is one Con, or seed, or lizard. This is about unity experience through planting seeds and making new connections in the Mayan Zolkin calendar. And we have at this point Jupiter in a trine to Pluto. So from our perspective here on Earth, the Jupiter is at a 120-degree angle to Pluto, which can bring very positive changes to our personal and social relationships. This is a time when it's easier to exert power, so it's important to know why and for whose benefit you're making changes. This can bring opportunities to take control of some aspect of your life, but the changes should be motivated by something beyond your own personal ambitions. This transit will benefit you most if you can join the interest of others with your own. It also helps to revise and reform aspects of your life to bring about some type of regeneration and renewal. With the planets and earth signs, the more practical the changes we intend, the more likely they're going to be successful. Also on the 11th, the Sun is opposed by Uranus. So from our perspective here on the Earth, this is a 180-degree angle between the Sun and Uranus, which brings a day that can be quite different from the norm. This could be experienced as a restlessness in close relationships, through one or the other, feeling impatient or unwilling to put up with something, which could lead to arguments. In business partnerships, this may require radical change due to some unexpected new information or situation. This is a time of surprise or upset related to the parts of yourself that have not received adequate expression in the past. This is a time to figure out what you want and then later on figure out if it's practical. For those that do not find a conscious expression of this energy, they may find that they're more accident prone under its influence. Overall, the winds of change are blowing in a direction that we're now aware of due to Pluto's deeper perspective. I'm not going to be covering the daily lunar activity in these reports other than new and full moons, but that information is available on New World Birth's daily Facebook posts and on the blogger New World Birth blog. The 12th is to Chichan or serpent, duality experience through being flexible with the Libra New Moon, which is challenged by Pluto, opposed by Uranus, and merging with the Sun. The Pluto square the New Moon can bring compulsion to engage in activities that are not good for us in the long run, but it can also help us to look inside and find what we want in any situation, as long as we're honest with ourselves. Be cautious of power struggles, that people will easily slip into the role of victim or perpetrator. The trine between Jupiter and Pluto is embedded in the new moon chart, which softens the energies and supports making a practical, expansive new beginning while releasing the past to be transformed. The moon opposed by Uranus can make folks emotionally excitable and impulsive. Uranus makes us aware of the need for change, and it brings stress and tension to this lunation. New moons are a time of new beginnings, and in Libra, this is about balance, partnership, diplomacy, harmony, and aesthetics. And new moons also bring an opportunity to set an intention for manifestation on the following following full moon. So you want to look at your astrology chart to find out the house that has 19 degrees, 20 minutes of Libra, to consider what aspect of your life is being activated by this new moon. For me, this is the 5th house of children and creativity. So I expect this cycle to provide new information related to my creative process or perhaps my relationships with children. That would fulfill the Libra New Moon's desire for pleasantry and beauty through the 5th house's role of creative expression. October 13th is 3 Kimi or transformation, taking action through releasing what no longer serves us. While we have Mercury in a sextile to Saturn, so from our perspective here on the Earth, this is forming a 60-degree angle, which is great for constructive criticism that comes through being able to see what can be improved in the surrounding environment. We're very conscious of flaws, including our own, so we can use our critical eye to see what should be changed to bring improvement. This can be very serious in its pursuit of betterment. So make sure you're honoring what is positive and not get caught in the and not get overwhelmed by the imperfections that are in view under this transit. Older people may serve as teachers or mentors at this time. This is nice energy for working carefully on any mental task from a place of concentration and precision, whereas activities requiring greater scope may be more challenged. So this is more about seeing the details rather than the overall pattern. The idea of difficulty seeing the forest for the trees. On the heels of the new moon, this may bring more focus to the mind in moving ahead with our new beginning. The 14th is for Manique or deer, stability through being of service to others in the Mayan Zol King calendar. October 15th is 5 Lamont or star or rabbit or Venus, empowerment through being grateful for abundant relationships And at this point, we've got Mars in a trine to Pluto. So from our perspective here on the Earth, this is forming a 120-degree angle, which is supportive. It's a supportive connection between the traditional and modern rulers of Scorpio, and an alignment between planet octaves. Mars representing our desires and personal will, and Pluto is the transcendent will of the universe and the empowerment of the authentic self. A trine between Mars and Pluto is good for making changes in our lives to become more effective in changing the world around us. This can stimulate people's ambitions without others feeling threatened. With Pluto involved, the Martian ego gets sublimated, so our efforts should be for the greater good, or will sow the seeds of our own self-undoing. This transit helps support our confidence and strength from within. And then the 16th is 6 Maluk, or offering, which is about being in the flow through appreciating all creation. With Venus in opposition to Neptune. So from our perspective here on Earth, these two planets are at a 180-degree angle. Venus in tension with Neptune can be unrealistic regarding love, which can lead to disappointment. Folks are more likely to picture themselves as the unselfish and giving person in a relationship who makes all the sacrifices for their partner's benefit. This can bring out manipulative behavior to gain control through using guilt and obligation. On a higher level, these also are planet octaves, so we might find that the tension between our personal love and our experience of unconditional universal love, or we may find personal love and universal love are just different facets of the same love. This can allow the imagination to flow in creative projects. It also brings the danger of being deceived in relationship. So this is not a good transit to begin a relationship, personal or business, as access to reality of relationships is distorted, and it will take time before viewing the relationship as on solid ground. It can produce some wonderful romantic experiences, but just don't expect them to last forever. October 17th is 7 Auk, or dog, which is reflection through enjoying family and friends. And at this point, we have Mars in conjunction with Jupiter, so they're at the exact same degree of Virgo, which assertively opens doors associated with expanding connections, particularly related to health and service. This is a very good transit, both physically and psychologically. It's very optimistic and expansive. It brings confidence and energy to continue what has been begun. The only caution I see with this transit is to avoid being arrogant, domineering, or being excessive, as those are the negative aspects of the day. Mostly this is very positive and promotes future growth. The 18th is 8 Shawin, or monkey, balance through creating something new in the Mayan Zolkin calendar. October 19th is 9 Eb, or road, patience through experiencing patience experienced through serving your community. The 20th is 10 Ben, or corn, manifestation through maintaining the home. October 21st is 11 Ish, or jaguar, in the Mayan Zolkin calendar, which is a resolution through enjoying nature. The 22nd is 12 Men, or eagle, understanding through seeing from a higher perspective, while we have Mercury in a square to Pluto. So from our perspective here on the Earth, this is forming a 90-degree angle between Mercury and Pluto, which may have folks obsessing about some thought or idea. So it's important in conversations with others to be open to their viewpoints and experience uh, and not be forceful in getting others to agree with our beliefs. This is a time where we may experience one thought that dominates the day and leaves little room for anything else. This energy can easily provoke arguments over things that won't seem important in a few days. If you use this energy to explore your inner world, it can bring light to something that was hidden in the depths of our psyches. Great energy for studying subjects that deal with covert or hidden aspects such as psychology, magic, the occult, as well as things like meditation or yoga, which unveil the possibilities of human potential. October 23rd is 13 Keep or Wisdom, which is about movement to the next stage through introspection, meditation, and forgiveness. And at this point, the sun enters into Scorpio. So just imagine that the handle of this pointer is the Earth, and the pointer itself is the line of sight. And at this point, the Earth has moved along its orbit until it's now picturing that the sun is being placed in the background of the Scorpio constellation in the tropical astrology system. So this brings us into the peak of the season, fall in the north, spring in the south, which is often noted for its intensity and passion in this fixed water sign. The Scorpion is known for endurance and drive, but also for seeking to find the deeper purpose in life. And of course, here in the United States, we celebrate Halloween and its origin, the pagan holiday of Samhain, which is about seeing through the veil into the other world. And it marks the midpoint of Scorpio. So for the next month, the sun casts more light into subjects such as death, rebirth, transformation, sex, regeneration, introspection, psychic experiences, anything that delves below the surface to explore the depths and mysteries while transiting Scorpio. And then also on the 23rd, we have Venus in a trine to Pluto. So from our perspective here on Earth, Venus is forming a 120-degree angle with Pluto, which is a day where we might hear from or contemplate contacting a former lover. With Pluto involved, this intensifies our emotional expression as emotions come to the surface that can now be meaningfully expressed to your loved ones. This alignment deepens our emotions and can make relationships intense. It's quite likely that people will feel love more strongly under this transit and express those feelings to the object of their affection. Sexual desires also increase under the Pluto-Venus connection. This is not an intellectual experience, but rather love expressed through body and emotions. This transit can produce profound insights that reveal the inner workings of our relationships. Beginning a relationship during this transit indicates a connection that will feel quite intense, as if being drawn together by some magical power. This is this can be a good relationship as long as the couple recognizes that the compulsive quality will wear off long before this pairing solidifies into a long-term relationship. This transit is great for artistic work because the emotional intensity characteristic can be harnessed in work that reveals the inner depth of the artist's soul. And then also on the 23rd, Mars opposes Chiron, which can bring up old wounds, particularly related to sex and aggression, as they can be released and healed under this transit of Mars to Chiron. So no matter what energies are affecting you during the one seed Trisana, just take some time to be in the flow of the planet by being in nature, watching a sunrise or a sunset, communing with the stars, being conscious of the moment through introspection or meditation, or just really being conscious when you're with somebody you love. Every day we have truly is a blessing, no matter what dramas beckon to distract us. We're all here just giving the performance of a lifetime on this world stage. Just take some time to observe the play as well as act your part by remembering you're a spiritual being that's having a human experience. I want to thank you for checking out New World Birth. The next segment of the care and feeding of a new world age will be on October 24th for one Kaban or Earth, with the Taurus full moon and Mercury entering into Scorpio. You can check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and the Mayan Magics website. And I encourage you to share this information as videos or as text as widely as you choose. And as always, I invite you to contact me at newworldbirth@yahoo.com if you got a question or you wish to schedule a reading. And I am providing readings and wish to make this service available to the greatest amount of folks. So I've created 3 options with 3 levels of compensation. So if you've been thinking about getting a reading, please contact me. I would love to provide you a reading during these uncertain times. You'll need to be able to either call me in Maine in the USA, or we can connect with Skype to receive your reading. We're also accepting donations to keep these reports freely available. Again, contact me at newworldbirth@yahoo.com is how to get information on making a donation. Things are getting a little lean around here, so please donate or get a reading. Just so you know, the readings I offer are pretty epic. They tend to go for 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4 hours at the lowest level, talking about what your human design chart describes as to who you are in your movie or your play. Then I use astrology transits to talk about what are the scenes in the play, what's coming up for you in the immediate environment, what are you dealing with due to the transit field. And then as far as what are your lines, well, that goes back to your human design strategy and authority that's covered in the human design portion of the reading. So at the upper levels, you get 2 readings for the price of 1. These are priced to make them available to as many people as possible. As always, I'm blessed that you've taken the time to connect with my passion for these ancient mysteries and their application to our journey during this incarnation. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. In Lakesh, and look forward to connecting with you in the future, either in a video or a reading, or send me an email if you've got a question. All my best.